Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Excellent looking shot here. You knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect. Right down the middle of the fairway. Frank, he could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
This is a good-looking shot. He's hit it very close, and he will have that, Frank, for an eagle.
Amazing how quickly the round changes. He'll quickly pick up 2 shots on the field.
So 2 under early on. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you get a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
No problems early. Looks good.
Does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. Here at the fourth, 383 yards from the back tee. It's a dogleg right, but Frank, looking at all of those bunkers, you could really make a mess of this hole if you stray.
You can. That's why you've got to simplify it. Just something there that's going to find the fairway. Even like 3-wood and a wedge, that's really all this hole's going to require. Avoid the canyons on the left and in the desert, as well as, I don't know how many bunkers there is on the right side. So a little bit of fairway up the left, find that there, and really, you should be looking at a birdie putt.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Starting to feel it. 2 in a row and 5 under for the tournament. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, 5th.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it? Because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream, but you can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you've got to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up. That's a ginormous tee shot. Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards. Hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Continuing to play well. -7 now after that putt. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. It is a dogleg to the right, not really a driver, unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play, or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Nicely holed. 4th birdie of the day. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole just it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
What a spectacular shot that was. And he'll have a look at eagle. Soaring high and diving in the cup. That's an eagle. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3A here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. 10 under par on the day. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the greenside bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow. And golf like this looks easy.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for Holy Cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up. Rack up another one.
On to the 11th hole. We're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there. Surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable. And you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Settles in over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the par 5, 12th. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12. Whoa, talk about taking the head cover off and let it fly. That's beyond long.
Goodness, did he get all of that one? Wow. Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here. What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. These putts keep the round together. Eagle has landed. Wow. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, well, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Sevier-esque.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
He's made it. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dog leg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity. That's an absolute beauty.
Always a little trickier. Club selection is key, playing downhill in this shot.
Should be safely on deck.
Just a pure strike, and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now.
Well, Rich, if he can make this one, add it to that string of birdies.
And generating some momentum now. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know. Well, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Just dominated this hole, and he ends up with an eagle. Finishing holding her at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 170 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles. But it certainly is something to watch.
Good putt. Frank, that was just a dazzling display of golf today.
It's amazing how a game at times it can be so hard and just absolutely drive you crazy. Can appear to be so simple. This was just an absolute joy to watch today.
So that'll do it for Frank Nobilo and our entire team. I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time. Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. And Frank, what can you tell us about Wolf Creek?
Well, it's a mesmerizing layout. You can see from above, Rich, in amongst all these sort of canyon areas and boulders and that. I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's like Disneyland for the golfers. It's phenomenal, and each hole has a totally different look. It's hard to imagine you can build a golf course in an area like this.
Now down to the first tee to kick off the round. Par 5 to begin. Frank, what's it all about?
11 bunkers, Rich, really to be avoided between tee and green. Elevated tee, so you can certainly reduce some of that yardage, 579, plus that thinner air. So it should be reachable for most of the long hitters. There's some trouble left, obviously, in that desert area and the water on the right. But 2 good shots, you never know. You might even get off to an eagle start.
This is a good-looking shot. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back-to-back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Getting set now over the putt. really moving in the right direction at 3 under. Now on to the third, first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark. Surely not.
Birdie try up next. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Good start at 4 under. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. There, this hole's only 383 yards, and it won't even really play its distance. But, of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
On the green in regulation. How about this little move? 5 under par now. 2 straight birdies. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, 5th.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it? Because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. The second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you can see you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. And he's putting for eagle now. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 5th hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot play just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps and hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Moves to -8. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Nine under for the round. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard. And it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, see if he can get the hat trick here.
Oh, things are looking so good. Stroke's good, swing's good. Let's see if it goes in.
Really has a feel on these greens. That is another birdie. This is impressive. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Beautifully done. That's a birdie. The par 4 10th, and Frank, what's the right way to attack this hole?
A little deceiving off the tee here, Rich, because you don't see the full width of the fairway because of the desert down the right side. You do see those bunkers down the left. 280 yards take them completely out of play. And it's a fun green, obviously protected by those bunkers on the left and that little one-pop bunker on the right. But be aware of the contours of this green, and just be aware, too, where they stick the flag. In that front section, then this is certainly a birdie hole.
This one's looking good. Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough. Just persuade yourself that. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. 14 under on the deck. Par 5 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. What a great shot. Right next to the hole. It's about 5 feet. Has it. Good putt right there. '13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles. But it certainly is something to watch. Great too.
Beautiful. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on in Rich, and you can see why. great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side. So you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. The hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine. Should be safely on deck.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That will be a great look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good putt. Short par 4 16th hole measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters there at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should set up nicely for a birdie.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
Continues to roll the ball very well. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. If you find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
Well, this could be good. Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Get in for eagle. Finishing holding her at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but you know, that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 170 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Too short eagle attempt on the way. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see two par 5s back to back. So the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, you and I have covered golf around the world. I have never seen anything quite like Wolf Creek Golf Club here in Nevada.
I didn't think you could build a golf course in this sort of area like this, but they have, and they've succeeded. It's a wonderful course to play. It's so pleasing on the eye. The fact that you get to play across canyons and over desert ridges and